How's it going, everyone? My name is Dan and this is DTM Design. Welcome back to another build video. So today we're going ahead and redoing this chair I have right here. Now you may have noticed it's already been redone, but it was beat up, old, and this was my grandfather's old chair from his garage. And so we're going through sanding it, repainting it, giving it some new life, redoing the cushions and all that. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you can, hit subscribe, leave a comment on what you want to see in the next video, and let's get right into this build.
All right, everybody, here's the chair before we start doing all the work to it. Now, as you can see, it's been through a whole life in the workshop. There's a bunch of pitting, there's rust, there's chips all over the place. Now, I'm not sure where my grandfather had gotten this, but we're gonna be giving it some new life and redoing the cushions as well, which I don't know if he did or my grandmother had done. The only thing we're keeping the same is the wood on the seat to leave some patina and some of that life and wear that it's gone through. Now, using the Jazzco here, we're gonna start stripping the paint and just weakening it up so that we can go ahead and sand as well after. This will just start eating away at the paint and kind of bubbling at it, and then we'll take a scraper and scrape as much off as we can. Then we'll pull out some sanding pads and start working our way down to the bare metal. Now the chair in the background, you can see half of it is down to bare metal, and there's still some paint here and there, but nowhere where it's gonna be super noticeable once it's painted over. I just want the places where there's a lot of broad surfaces to be as smooth and as clean and as possible as I can. As you can see, we went through a lot of sanding pads, but once we were done, we got down to the bare metal, and it looks really cool like this. I almost wanted to just clear coat the bare metal and be done with it, but I figured I already bought the paint and we're making the video, so we cleaned it off some acetone and pulled out the primer, and we started painting it up and just giving it a nice coat here and there. And then once that was done, we give it a light sanding with a high fine sponge sandpaper, and just to make it a little smoother so there's no like rough parts from overspray or anything like that. Give it a nice wipe down so there's no excess dust on it. Hang these up, obviously tarp everywhere like you just saw so there's no overspray on the actual wood shop floor. And then use the air hose to get any last bits of dust off these before we start hitting it with Montana paint and getting a nice good coat all over everywhere so it's nice and even. There's no thin spots, and just 2 layers, and just make sure there's no shadows or over areas. Try not to get any bleeds, do the best you can and just get a nice even coat all over. Now once this is nice and starting to dry up after an hour or so, or even just overnight, I believe I might have done, I can't remember at this time, but you grab the Clear Glamour clear coat here. Now this is a 2K killer coat, so you do have to wear a mask. Now once that had cured on there, I brought it home nice and safe with a bunch of packaging, and we had gotten these nuts welded in by a buddy of mine at the bottom so I could screw these wheels in, and now we're done with that. We can take off the rest of the protection that we have and reveal pretty much the paint job we got from the clear coat, and then slowly removing all the tape to reveal the old wood so you can see the old life. Attaching the chair to the back again, the nice painted bolts, and putting on the backrest, same thing, the painted bolts so everything is nice and matching. And now we're gonna go ahead and start working on the cushions. Now I got this nice cream canvas and a cushion foam from Joann's. Now RIP to them, they're closing, but thanks for the final supplies. Good place for all the supplies I needed in the past. But now we're gonna be cutting this down to size here, and then taking some measurements and cutting down all the fabric as well to get it ready to be a cushion. And we got the backrest going here as well. And now we're gonna start cutting the strips of tubing that are gonna be on the top edges of the cushion to give it a little pattern or just like a little flare instead of just being a white cushion. And my cat's helping me out there by holding on to the fabric. And so now that we've ran a single stitch through all that, we have the tubing all prepped, and we have all the other pieces for the cushions and the backrest cut and ready to go. And now all we have to do is get the bob ready and all the thread and the machine set up so we can start sewing this together. Now with the machine fully set up, we can start working on our first piece here, which is going to be the backrest of the seat. Now I grabbed my piping that I made earlier, and we're going to start pinning that with some needles to the edges of the piece, and then running a stitch all the way along it, and then going around the turns with the piping until we are fully around the entire piece and we have our first little face of the cushion. Now we have the piece ready to go, and all I have to do is attach the other piece of canvas to the backside, and we have our little pouch here. We can test fit the foam we cut earlier inside, and once that fits and we're ready to go with that, I'm going to put some magnets in the back of the cushion using some hot glue, so that way it can attach to the chair and I don't have to make any additional straps or doing more sewing than just having this cushion, and it gives the chair a nice clean finished look. Now that we have the backrest complete, we can start working on the main cushion of the chair. And so now I'm just going to be starting with putting the piping on the complete side piece of the cushion. So it's a nice long piece. I want to keep it as simple as possible in stitching this together and just keep it as clean looking as I can. I'm not the best sewer in the world, so whatever I can do to make it simpler for myself, that's what I'm going to do. So now I have this concealed zipper that I'm going to be putting into the back. I cut a slice with my X-Acto knife and then ironed this down just to make sure it was nice and flat before I went ahead and tried to add this in. Now, getting into the sewing machine was a little bit tricky, and getting it to feed right and actually stitch was a little hard, but we finally got it done. And now we have our zipper here and that first piece complete. We then went ahead and sewed it to the first top panel and then gave a little test fit with the cushion we had cut out, made sure the zipper could open and close before we attached the final bottom piece. And then with the bottom piece down, we can now say this is complete, put the cushion in, and we can look at our final results of the chair. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
All right, everybody, that was today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun going through and fixing up this chair and giving it some new life, redoing the cushions, so now I'm a little more comfy as I'm working on my desk here on some future videos. If you guys have anything you want to suggest for the next video, please leave a comment below. And if you can, hit subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. At 1,000 subscribers, we gave away one of the giant Lego figures I've made in the past. And now we're reaching to the next level, which is 2,000. And there we'll be doing another giveaway. So please hit that subscribe button if you want to be a part of that. I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoy.